We're going to learn long tail cast on. This is a nice cast on to start off your knitting. Fairly quick to do. And what's nice about it is that you have a nice row of stitches. They're stretchy and it has a nice beefy cast on to the bottom. It's very easy to knit the first row, and I use this as my default cast on. We'll slow down and show you how to do it. And one helpful thing is to grab a pen for the first time you do this and write on your hand. We have 3 motions to this. We're going to put a 1 on the palm of our thumb, a 2 on our left hand forefinger, and a 3 on the tip of our left hand thumb with arrows. I'm also going to put a little exclamation point on my right hand, excuse me, and we'll show you why that's helpful later. Okay, to help demonstrate this, I've taken a yarn and fused 2 different colors together. So we're going to have our tail be orangish pink, and our yarn ball is a bluish color. Now, when we do a long tail cast on, you use up yarn from your tail and your yarn ball, and you might wonder how much it takes. So what I usually do for about this weight of yarn is I count 10 stitches, 20, 30, 40, and we're going to be casting on a little bit less than that, but I'm just going to move ahead to where my yarn changes color for the demonstration. We drop the yarn over our fingers so that our tail goes over the thumb and our yarn source coming from the ball goes over our forefinger. Then we can close these 3 fingers on both of those strands to secure them, and we're able to start. Now, sometimes people like to start with a slip knot, and you can do that if you prefer. The reason I don't like it is that when you come to knit it, you have an actual knot in your cast on. I just don't like how that feels. So here's how you can get around that. Once again, our tail is on our thumb, our yarn source is on our forefinger, and all we need to do to start is drag the strand here toward us with our needle and put a little half hitch on our needle, put our finger on it to hold it secure. Now we have a heart shape and we're ready to begin putting on stitches 1 stitch at a time. We're going to do this twice. We're going to do this the first round just to get the motions down. And then there's a secret I want to teach you next time we give it a try. But for now, we're just going to concentrate on the motions of getting the stitches on the needle. So here we go. We start at 1 and right up the thumb and we catch that strand. Over to 2 and down to catch the strand on the forefinger. Over to 3 and down. Put your finger of your right hand forefinger on the stitch you just put on the needle to secure it. Drop the loop over your thumb and use your thumb to draw the tail toward you to secure that stitch. Now we're back in our starting heart-shaped position, and we'll do another one. 1, 2, 3. Finger on the stitch, drop the loop, draw the strand toward you. 1 rides up, 2 and down, 3 and down, finger on the stitch, drop the loop, draw the strand toward you. Makes a nice pattern on the bottom, which you'll start to see. Now, if you have to stop for some reason, remember when you pick it back up, you can't just involve 1 strand, you have to involve both strands. So, get that tail over your thumb and the yarn ball strand over your forefinger, and get back into position like so. We'll do a couple more. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now I'd like to tell you why we're going to start over. Most times you do this for the first time, you'll have this cast on too tightly. It's important to keep your cast on stitches loose. The cast on is not what determines how wide your knitting will be. All the knitting above it will determine how wide your knitting will be. But if you cast on too tightly, your work will pull in at the bottom, and that doesn't look nice, and especially doesn't feel nice if you're knitting a garment, say like a sock, where you start at the top around your leg and work down. You don't want those stitches tight. So here is the rule to keep them loose. If you think just about this for a moment, when you do knit those stitches, you're going to have them loose enough for 2 needles to fit into that one loop at one time. So here's the rule. We're going to start over. Just like before, we only need 1 needle tip to do it. Draw it towards you. Same motions, 1, 2, 3. But we're going to make sure our yarn stays fluffy. No squeezing it so tight and rocking it back and forth that all the fluff disappears. That won't do. So rule 1 is keep the yarn fluffy. Rule 2 has to do with how much space you leave between your cast on loops. If you look at this space between the stitches, you should have at least a square there. And by that I mean, if you look at the width of your needle, and this applies to whether you're using big needles or small needles, when you're casting on, look at the width of your needle and imagine that space between your 2 stitches. Will that needle fit between comfortably? If it does, you're going to be fine. If you pull it so tight that your stitches are all right smack dab next to each other and you can't see a needle between, then your stitches are going to be tight. So let's start over, and we're going to keep the yarn A fluffy, and we're going to keep a distance of a square between each set of stitches that we lay down. You may even err on the side of making a rectangle, but at least make sure there's a square there.